guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Keisha and you're watching Zazie K Creations, and in today's video I am going to do a little bit of a vlog in my sewing room. I'm going to take you through my plans for the day and how they all pan out. So if you want to see what I'm going to be working on today in my sewing room, continue watching. So I first and foremost want to let you know that I have not yet heard from the sewing machine store, the repair store. They have not yet gotten in touch with me about my machine, but it has been only 2 weeks exactly today. So while I'm very anxious to know what's going on with my machine, I am probably going to give them another day of grace in that timeline, and I will probably check in with them tomorrow to see how my machine is doing. Okay, so back in January, I think it was, I took you guys with me to Home Depot and Lowe's and Harbor Freight looking for some weights for my custom pattern weights. But in that video I also told you guys I was looking to build or have a pegboard placed in my room. So I did find the pegboards in Home Depot, and I knew I wanted to have a custom one built for my wall space in here. So I'm happy to say that I was in fact able to get my custom pegboard done. I am extremely excited about it, and not just the one pegboard, I got a second pegboard done. So the other pegboard is not custom though, there's no framing around it. It's just a simple pegboard, and it's behind my door where I'm going to be hanging all of my rulers and my hip curves and things like that. So my plan for today is to definitely go ahead and get the pegboard behind my door situated with all my rulers and things on it. And if I have time, I might try to go ahead and get this one behind me started. So this is the custom one that was done. Unfortunately, I don't have any footage to show you all on this pegboard being done, and I am so sorry. I am trying to figure out ways to do better at like trying to take you all on that process when I'm having this type of stuff done. But the fact of the matter is, this pegboard was not done, and it was not finished at my home. It was done by my dad at his house, and it sat in his garage. He has a whole space set up where he does all this type of stuff all the time, but in his garage is where he was able to get this done for me. So I think I only have one picture, honestly, that I can show you on this, but I have nothing more than that. But what I can do is tell you a little bit about the cost to get this done and what I know he had to do to create this for me. And I will likely do that in an upcoming video. If time permits, I will go ahead and get my scissors and things situated on this board. I don't have everything I need for this board yet because I need to order like the cups and things like that to hold my my marking tools and maybe some of my my seam rippers and things like that. But I will go ahead and get something started today, hopefully. Okay, so the next thing I hope to accomplish today is getting my Noel dress started and maybe even finished. I have been talking about this dress for a couple of weeks now, and my desire is to get this dress done. The dress is nothing but straight lines. I'm hoping and I'm praying that I can get this done within a day or two. If I do my cutting today, I can probably get the sewing part of it also done. I don't know, but that is my goal, to get this dress started and maybe even completed within the next day or two. So those are my plans for the dress. And then later tonight, I mean, outside of my sewing room, I promised the girls we were going to do like a family movie night tonight. So my goal is to also, after I get all of my sewing done and all those things accomplished in here today, that I will sit down and have some family time with my family. So those are my kids are home today from school. They are home today from school. They did not have school because there's a professional development day, I believe it is. But you know, aside from breaking to do, you know, lunch and things like that, I don't feel like that's gonna be problematic in me like getting things done. So I just wanted to put that disclaimer out there. So yeah, that is my plan for my sewing room. So let's go ahead and get the first thing started, which is my my pegboard that's behind my door. I had a brain freeze for a second. So here I am simply organizing my rulers that I had in my closet. I'm organizing them right now on my table just so I can see what I have and thinking about the location for these rulers on my pegboard. I didn't want to put the rulers on my pegboard only to find out that the placement that I thought would work didn't work. So I thought I would first organize them on my table, and then from there I will take them over to the pegboard and place them there. This also gave me a way to visualize the placement of my rulers on the pegboard before I placed it on the pegboard. As you can also see, I am organizing them by like or type of ruler. So I've got some hip curves and some straight edge rulers together, and I've got some other fancier type rulers on my table, but they're all organized and categorized by type. As I began hanging my rulers, I remembered I found these little plastic clips from the dollar store, and I'll show you in just a moment how I use these on my pegboard. So now I am going to walk you through what I did here. So I put all of my flat rulers, all my straight edge rulers at the bottom. These are the rulers that I access the most. I do have this Fiskars mat behind here. It's a smaller size one, but I don't use it as often. I might take it out if we're doing something like artsy and crafty, like if I'm using a Cricut or something, just to protect the space on the table, but I don't use it as much, so I'm totally fine with having it, be behind all of my rulers. I want to tell you that I thought I was recording the process of me actually putting all my items on here, and I went back to my camera and it did not record, so I'm just going to do a quick explanation of what I did here. So I noticed that there were a couple items that either did not have a hole on it, or the hole was too small for my my peg to get in. So what I did was I figured that I would just use a simple clip, and I had remembered I purchased a pack of these from the dollar store, these little clips here. They were multicolored, and they came 6 in a pack, and I bought 2 packs. So I figured I would just go ahead and use those clips to still be able to hang these items on my pegboard. So everything here on my pegboard is placed in order of most frequently used to less frequently used. And like I said, I have all my straight edge rulers here. I got some of my curve rulers here. There's an armhole curve and a hip curve, and just a couple of different sizes. They all pretty much do, I could probably do much of the same thing with these, but the different sizes I think is very helpful, just based off what you're preparing, a larger garment or a smaller garment piece. So I feel like the options are really great for me. And the higher up we go are, again, just some items I don't use as frequently, but I wanted to have them on my pegboard so I can see them and they will be readily available to me. So again, at the top there, those are those items I told you I had to use the Dollar Tree clips to hang them up, because either they did not have a hole or the hole was not big enough. I did my very best to put these items on here so that there is no overlap. What I did not want to have happen is I put things on here, I need to get them, and I'm like, you know, fumbling and stumbling and knocking things off the pegboard to get to something. So I tried to space it out so that I'm able to get to everything, I can see everything, and I can put my hands on it fairly quickly, and nothing would fall off the pegboard and everything would be visible. I don't know how long I will keep this item here. So I think what happened was when I purchased this curve ruler here and this other curve ruler here, I got a bonus item, and this bonus item appears to be something I can use if I'm apparently going to lower an armhole or add width to a pattern. I'm not really sure, but it's just a mini ruler, so I'm going to keep it up here and just remember that I have it here in case I need to use it for any part of a project. So yeah, this is the board. It is completely done. All right, so now that the pegboard behind my door is finished, I am going to go ahead and keep my space on my table clear so that I can map out what I think my pegboard over here will look like when I get everything hung and ready to go on it. So I am going to clear off my table. I still have some of these pins on here. I'm going to take those off and just take some time and just brainstorm what I think my pegboard will look like. So let's go ahead and get that process started. So I've had these items in different places in my room, but I went ahead and organized them on my table so I can then begin to categorize them for placement on my pegboard. All right, so let's walk you through what I've got going on here. So I have not actually organized this the way I'm gonna put everything on my pegboard, but I did my best to organize it based off the item type or what the item is. Some of the scissors I've sort of organized based off how I use them, but not necessarily. So let me walk you through. So right here I've got all of my my marking tools, which I will probably just get like a little cup for. I've got all of my seam gauges, which I will also get a cup for. And I actually did not know I had a second one of those little rulers that you saw hanging on my board, so I'll keep one on the board and I'll keep one, I guess, at my pegboard. And right here I've just got some other knick-knack items. They call this the purple thing. It's really a good tool to use if you're trying to push a smaller piece of your fabric through your machine for sewing, and it can be used for other items as well, other things. Got a bodkin here. I actually got this as a part of a gift basket I won about a year ago, maybe. And this is just my my cup of pencils and pens. I don't think I'm going to put this on my pegboard. I have a little station next to my sewing table where I will probably just keep those for the time being. Several seam rippers. You can never have too many of those. And then kind of getting into the scissors. So I've got my scissors all arranged here. I've got quite a few of the snippers. I've got a pretty decent collection of scissors here that I'm going to be thinking about in terms of where I'm going to put these on my board and how I will make that look. And right here in the corner are my labels. I will find a cup for those, and I've got my snips. These are three of my favorite pair. And actually I need to put my LDL ones with those because this is another pair of snips. I got this as a part of my I'm sorry, I keep saying LDL. I think it's LDH. Yeah, LDH. LDH scissors I purchased some time ago, but that came with it. So I am going to go ahead now and try to organize this exactly how I think I want to see these items on my board. Okay, so I think I have these for the most part situated how I want to see them hung on my pegboard. So I got the seam gauges in a cup, the seam rippers in a cup, my marking tools. I'm not sure if a tray or a cup will do for those, but I think I might just go for a cup. And I've got my snips in a cup. I'll put my miscellaneous items in a cup, and as you can see, they're gonna go higher up on the pegboard because I don't use them as often. I don't mind having to reach higher on the pegboard to get to my labels because I use those like once in a project. And I've got some other scissors up here I don't use as often, but because I don't use them as often, I will hang those higher on my pegboard. And those are mostly my what are those? Oh, those are my shoot, what do you call those? Oh my gosh. Oh, pinking shears. Oh my goodness. I cannot think for a second. Pinking shears and just some extra snips on the side over there. So I am going to go ahead and start with my scissors, get those hung up. Okay, so I am pretty happy with the display of my scissors. I think this looks great. Again, I've got the ones I use most frequently around here, nice and within arm's reach, and the higher up you go are the ones I don't use as frequently, but I'm able to stand here and reach up and grab if I need to grab, and put back if I need to put back. So I think that works out really well. So now that the pegboard is finished, as much as I can get done today, I decided to go to Amazon and look for some items I needed to complete the pegboard. Just before I jumped onto Amazon, I got an email and I'm right now just trying to figure out what to make of it. I registered for a conference out of state and I got an email saying that a portion of the conference was canceled, but the portion that was canceled doesn't quite make sense to me. So I need to do some follow up with the vendor and find out exactly what is happening with that. So I'm literally like talking to myself, trying to understand what it is I got in my email. All right, so enough of the conference cancellation. I'm now just going to go ahead and take some time and browse Amazon and look at all the different options available to me in helping me finish out my pegboard. So you guys know when you're on Amazon, oh my goodness, this can just take so much time, especially for me because I am one to read the reviews, do the research, look for other similar options, pictures and videos. So this took me quite some time. But when it was all said and done, I think I found just what I need to finish off my pegboard. All right, so now that the pegboard items have been sorted out, I've done my Amazon order. Believe it or not, it is 2 o'clock. I don't know where all of the time went, but it's 2 o'clock. I am going to, at this moment, probably take a little bit of a break, figure out lunch with the kids. Very late lunch with the kids, but they've been content. No school today. They have been doing their thing. So I was prepared to whip something up for the kids for lunch, but they decided they wanted McDonald's. So it was a Friday, and they normally have pizza day in school on Friday. So I went ahead and just treated them to McDonald's for lunch. So we've all had lunch, and now I am going to get started on my Noel dress pattern. Right now, I'm just getting my fabric ready so I can begin constructing or cutting out the arms or the sleeves on the dress. So I'm now looking at my measurements and making sure that I measure properly to get my sleeve cut out. That post-it note that's on my fabric is for me to tell the wrong side from the right side of my Ankara fabric, because Ankara fabric, sometimes you can't tell the differences between the two sides. I figured out which was the wrong side, and I just simply put a post-it note there until I can get my painter's tape and use that in place of the post-it note. But that's just the easy way to remember the wrong side from the right side. So once I cut out the rectangle for the sleeve, I had to do one final part of cutting, and that was to create the armhole. And this was done for both sleeves. Now that my sleeves have been properly cut out, I'm now ready to work on the body of the dress. And the good part about this is that the body is only two huge rectangles. So cutting it out was fairly easy. However, my table was not as wide as I needed it to be. So I had to do a little bit of shifting and moving around of the fabric on the table. But at the end, I was able to get the measurements cut out and the rectangles done. I actually almost forgot that because this is a woven garment, I needed to go ahead and serge my edges to prevent them from raveling. Then I went ahead and took my fabric over to my ironing board to get some of the large wrinkles out that managed to make their way back into the fabric. So I'm now just pressing out some of the hard wrinkles so that I'm able to have a smooth piece of fabric as I'm working on making my dress. So after I ironed out the wrinkles from the dress, the fabric pieces, I went ahead and created my seam allowance using my Clover seam gauge and my Clover chalk marking pen. So after I marked my seam allowance, I took it to my machine. I went ahead and sewed the seam allowance and gave it a nice press on my ironing board. And now I am creating the seam allowance on the body of the dress. Okay, so now I've got all of my edges serged. I have attached the sleeve to the body of the dress. I feel like I can go on a little bit longer, but I know if I keep pressing into this, I will probably begin to make mistakes. But the next step would be for me to create the casing for the elastic around the chest and shoulder area and around the sleeve. And then, of course, I would have to do the final hem at the bottom. But again, I am not going to continue because I start making mistakes and it's getting late. So I am going to go ahead and finish sewing for the evening and go ahead and watch this movie with my family for our movie night. The movie is called Breakthrough, and it's a really, really great movie. So I began the next day on Saturday with a nice pedicure and a nice manicure because my nails were looking quite bad. but I'm glad that they're done now. And then from there, I met my family and we all went to the mall. My husband wanted to do some shopping for some tank tops and some shoes. Say hi, Sephora.
I need this one. It might look like a small bag. I still need it.
We ended our day leaving the mall to get something to eat, so I got no sewing done, but it was a good day. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hope that you all are doing well. Today is actually Sunday and I am home today. My youngest daughter, her allergies have been flaring up really bad over the last couple of days. So while we were out yesterday, things were okay, but this morning she woke up and her allergies were bothering her. My oldest daughter and my husband went off to church, and my youngest and I stayed home this morning. I figured I'd just take the day and finish out some laundry and get some of my sewing done in my room while I have a couple of hours or so. So my plans for today are to go ahead and finish up this Noel dress that I've been working on. It is basically done. I only have to insert my elastic into the casing, create the casing, insert the elastic, close up the casing hole, and then do my hem, and the dress will be finished. So I'm hoping I can get that done today. And then one of my products came in from Amazon to finish out my custom cork board. I keep saying cork board, custom pegboard, and I'm hoping that I can also get that done today. Although I am waiting on another order from Amazon, the baskets I'm going to use for my pegboard. So hopefully that will come in and I'll be able to finish up my pegboard today. So for right now, I'm going to go ahead and turn on some music or my TV and watch something while I'm sewing, or listen to something while I'm sewing, and go ahead and get this dress started. Here's the casing for the top of the dress, and I did a very similar casing to finish out the arms on this dress. I remembered I had this DIY seam and hem guide I created when I first started sewing. It comes in really handy when trying to press long hem lines and seam lines. So I pulled this out, and here is the finished dress. I love how it turned out. So I really did enjoy making this dress. It was very easy, beginner friendly, straight lines and elastic. And as I was working on my dress today, my baskets came in for my pegboard, so I was able to finish off my pegboard this evening. I might order some other baskets in time, but no hurry right now. But yeah, I want to thank you for watching my video, and please like and subscribe. And until we come together again, God bless.